Hi, I'm Vicky-Rae Renier-Clark. I'm also one of the 2018 Millennium Fellows for Western Sydney University this year, and my main project as part of the P.E.A.C.E Unlimited overall project was for sustainable campuses within our campus network. So leading into what's actually been done during the Millennium Fellowship this year, the first beneficial change that we saw within myself was basically the idea that previously to actually doing the fellowship, like, we weren't so much confident in reaching out to community partners, especially in regards to sustainability on our campuses, minimising the inequalities that were existing. So basically what happened previously was that Western Sydney University didn't really take the opinions of students into consideration when they were building their vertical campuses. Now in 2018 we've been fortunate enough that we've been added as student representatives within the steering committees, as well as just basically within the consultation process and things like that, which we weren't afforded in 2017 when they decided to build the upright campus over at Liverpool. So being able to actually advocate this time around, and when we were originally given the initial consultations in February, a lot of student representatives, including myself, especially on our Bankstown campus, made it quite clear to the university that, hey, if you want to put 6,000 plus students into this new campus, then you need to involve us into the consultation process. And we've been pretty diligent, and also really kept on to them about it as well. And we were actually lucky enough that when we did do the Student Leaders Forum, which had never happened before prior until May this year, that we had a number of key stakeholders within the university, such as the Vice-Chancellor. We also had representatives from the Office of Estate and Commercial, as well as the Director for Sustainability in Western Sydney. So as a result of those conversations, we basically worked out what did we want to do in regards to this. In addition to that, it was also there was a really big focus on having to have multidisciplinary teams in regards to being able to even be considered, that, well, even taken seriously, really. So that was one of the main things that we did do. 5 important professional skills we learnt: to firstly make sure that we made a cohesive argument whenever we did reach out to wider community partners. Myself and my team were actually fortunate enough to gain the support of the Federal Shadow Minister for Trade and Investment, Jason Clare, which he's also the state MP for I think it's the Blackthorn electorate, in which Bankstown is a member. So that helped as well. Once we gained his support, a lot of his support came back to writing letters to the Vice-Chancellor saying that we approached him as students for his feedback. We've been fortunate enough that he has written 2 letters to the Vice-Chancellor at this particular point. So we learned that getting those community partners on board is incredibly important when it comes to these level of partnerships, collaboration, similar thing. We did also learn that even though you can get community partners that do want to talk to you and do want to have meetings with you, that when it comes down to that particular meeting, they're not exactly as receptive as what we expected them to be. But we did learn to just take that as feedback, push forward into it, and just keep going. We also learnt the importance of well, not only partnerships, but being able to assess what is quality education, what is a quality educational facility. I was lucky enough in October of this year, I spent 2 weeks in Scotland with the University of Glasgow, and I basically did a lot of research there that I could bring back to our Australian universities in regards to what they're doing to preserve their green spaces on their campuses, what kind of I guess like what they're doing in regards to energy conservation, ways that they're reducing the inequalities for their students as well in regards to student leadership and student entrepreneurship, which they managed to roll out upon their campuses. Unfortunately, Western doesn't have so much in terms of student entrepreneurship, so that's going to be a consideration going forward also in the process of how we look at branching that out even further. So yeah, so what were my career goals before the Millennium Fellowship experience? To be perfectly honest with you, I don't know what I want to be when I grow up. So I've done 7 years at university currently, and I'm still going, so it's one of the things that I think it just needs to be taken into consideration a little bit more. In addition to that, it's basically that we're constantly learning, we're constantly changing. There's so much work that needs to be done. Like, even though we have been working on this particular project since the initial consultations in February and the subsequent forum in May, even though we do have student representatives on our steering committees for this project now, there's still a lot of work to be done. They're actually saying that the campus itself won't be ready until 2020, 2021. So I'm guessing as the planning and development stages progress that we're going to have a lot more that we need to be doing in that regards. I think the biggest piece of information and basically advice that I can give to Millennium Fellows going forward is, as much as your project probably gets a lot of backlash, I know certainly that ours did a lot in its genesis. So basically, even if you get the backlash, stay with it. Maybe get a little creative in regards to the way that you want to approach it. I know personally that with this project we received a lot of backlash at first as to why do we want sustainable campuses. Now, to get a broader idea of why students went for the sustainable campus initiatives, our current campus at P.E.A.C.E has vast amounts of green space there. We have a massive football oval at the back of the campus. We have eucalyptus trees all the way through, beautiful gardens, and the thing is that the university wants to put us all in basically a high rise. There's not going to be any gardens within that. We have been told that we will be put on a forecourt, which currently the council uses for festivals and things like that. But the thing is that it's still a built environment. And at the P.E.A.C.E campus currently, we're seeing that the overall sustainability of that campus is slowly diminishing. There's been the removal of 6 trees last month and another 3 this week. So whether or not, we've been basically told that these are dead trees, there's really no reason to keep them. The thing in regards to that is that I am actually a trade certified horticulturalist. I can tell when trees are diseased, and quite honestly these ones just weren't. And it's just been an ongoing issue that we're just seeing it not being as sustainable as it could be. Like some of the other people within the Millennium Fellowship Peace Unlimited program, they focused on things such as responsible cafes, a waste audit from the university itself, various other initiatives as well. So it's basically a bunch of little projects that once you put it together, it makes a much bigger picture and it seems to be a much bigger issue. So yeah, that's basically what we've been working on this year. In regards to ongoing projects, and I'm guessing at this particular point, seeing that there's still quite a lot to be done, I'm guessing that a lot of the fellows from this year will be applying for next year as well, so either that or passing their projects on. So yeah, that's just a little bit about what we've been doing, and I hope that's been interesting. Thanks, bye.